Coming up on Focal Point.
Learn how you can get involved in the 2024 election.
Dozens of people stopping by for ice-cold margaritas, but it's 60 degrees out. Find out why coming up.
Hear about how you can cast your vote on Michigan State's campus early this year.
All this and more. Focal Point starts right now.
Go ahead, guys.
Good morning and welcome to the first Focal Point news show of the semester. I'm Jordan Wilcox.
And I'm Nora Fleming. Today is September 20th, 2024. On today's edition of Focal Point, we bring you all things news, weather, and sports. And with election season in full swing, we wanted to start the show off with some voting information.
Election Day is 46 days away, which means it's almost time for your voice to be heard. For the first time ever, Michiganders will be able to vote early in person without reason. One of these new early voting sites is here on Michigan State's campus, and students and East Lansing residents are gearing up to vote on campus at Mid-Michigan's PBS affiliate, WKAR. That's on the corner of Wilson and Red Cedar. And that's where we find our own Bobby Cushing. He's live with us now. Bobby, students are able to cast their votes early over there now, right?
Give him a second.
Hey, thanks guys. I'm standing right outside WKAR studio here at the Comrade Side building on Michigan State's campus. And for an early time here, you're going to be able to vote early this election, starting October 21st, running to November 3rd, 10 to 6. Every day, you'll be able to vote here at the studio. You can cast your ballot, find out if you're registered, go to WKAR.org. I had the pleasure of talking with WKAR's finest to learn more about this early voting center. There is one corner of campus at Michigan State University dedicated to the election and your vote.
Yeah, I don't think we can underestimate the importance of making sure that young people at least have the opportunity to vote.
Sean Turner is the general manager of WKAR, Mid-Michigan's PBS radio and television station. He is looking forward to helping the young voters vote.
Set up so that members of the community and our students here on campus can come in 9 days prior to the election.
This year's a little bit different because WKAR is opening up as an early voting center on campus here at Michigan State, where students and residents of East Lansing can come and cast their vote early, starting at the end of October.
They'll go to a second table to receive their ballot. Once they receive their ballot, there'll be a number of voting booths that are set up here.
This studio inside WKAR will transform from a TV studio to a voting center starting October 21st.
It can be a challenge sometimes for students to know where they can vote.
Bill Richards, the director of communications at WKAR, loves the idea of an early voting center on campus. He thinks the easier it is for students to vote, the better.
Really is a great way to help the student population and the city of East Lansing population to vote at a place that's convenient to get to. Votes matter, and each individual vote does matter. Without the individual vote, there are no votes.
All of this is an effort to make voting easy.
Telling students, showing students that it's a really easy process, and if you have any confusion or questions about that process, we're bringing the experts right here to answer those questions.
Of course, like everyone, students need to register to vote first. In East Lansing, Bobby Cushing, Focal Point News. So that's going to be October 21st to November 3rd, 10 to 6 every day. You can walk in here, find out if you're eligible to vote here, cast your ballot, and you get to decide who will be the next president of the United States. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Bobby. And as you can see, it is a new voting landscape right here in Michigan.
Yeah, the voting motivations between everyone who has a hand in this election look different. Some feel that this might be the most important election in history. Marie Wicks knows this time is important.
It's vitally important to see this particular election cycle through to success.
Yay! The November election is so important to her, she came out of retirement and went back to work.
I came in to help out for 6 months, and a year and a half later, here I am.
And Marie's job has a lot to do with the election.
I'm the city clerk.
She's doing everything she can to make sure people vote.
It takes everybody, students, non-students, people like me who come out of retirement.
Across the street from East Lansing City Hall, campus leaders at Michigan State find the work exciting too.
We have definitely been full force, very busy.
Erin Kramer, Student and Community Relations Coordinator, is working with MSU Votes to ensure students get registered.
Working to push students to get out and get educated about voting and casting their ballot.
And the group has events planned that include MSU's president.
We'll have an opportunity, if students choose to come to the early voting center and vote with the president.
To make sure students know how and where to vote.
Brody Hall is one of 17 precincts in East Lansing, so voters will be here for the November election. That means Brody CAF will be serving up breakfast and ballots.
Instead of having 4 days of elections, we're going on probably 35 or 40. So my motto for this year is no one sits on the sidelines. No one.
And when election day is over,
and I can start watching the returns from other places, and I can sit down and have that glass of wine.
Retirement. Finally.
I will at the end of the year.
In East Lansing, Nora Fleming.
I gotta say, when I went to City Hall, I wasn't expecting the pom-poms. Early voting begins on October 21st. For more information, go to the City of East Lansing's website at cityofeastlansing.com.
Class sizes at Michigan State University continue to break records, with this class having the largest amount of incoming students to date. And sometimes that causes an overflow of students. Where they all go? The university implements what they call the transitional housing system. Focal Point's Rachel Fulton shows us how students and staff of the university are handling it.
On the banks of the Red Cedar brings a new chapter to all. But for many students, it's starting with an unexpected twist.
As far as space goes, that's been the worst part because it is a cram. Like, you can definitely tell there's not enough room for all of these people.
Each year, universities across the country are seeing an increase in freshman enrollment, pushing many students into transitional housing.
When I got in here, so there was a desk in that corner and the TV, and then I saw the bunk bed, and so since I'm on the bunk bed, I was immediately looked at my mom and was like, how is this going to work?
What was once a quick solution is now becoming the norm.
Our data shows that students who experience transitional housing retain to the university at a higher rate than those who did not experience transitional housing.
If any opportunity came, it's sad we became friends with her and weren't expecting it.
Whew, it must be so concerning as a student being told you're going to be getting an extra roommate, or even you're the extra roommate right here in the dorms in a space that's already so small. But the real question is, MSU really addressing this?
From housing, we got a discount.
We also made sure that we allowed students both from coming from international locations and students in transitional housing to move in early.
But for now, Lucy and other freshmen are just trying to look at the bright side of the situation. In East Lansing, Rachel Fulton, Focal Point News.
Although people may have to be temporarily cozy with a bit more people than anticipated, MSU is going to be working to find a solution.
It looks like 3 can sometimes be a crowd, huh? When we think of the library, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Books? A quiet environment? Focal Point's Kenzie Terpstra visited the East Lansing Public Library and found a lot more than that.
The East Lansing Public Library has been a community staple for 100 years.
And it's more than just aisles and rows of books.
Pretty much anything you're looking for, we have it.
For instance, if you'd rather watch than read.
Back there is our bird sanctuary.
From bird watching to bricklaying, they've even started an adult night with Legos and beer.
So just started an adult Lego night, which is really fun. It's called Bricks and Brew.
Most likely, we think of a library as a place to grab books and take them out. But here, people are bringing things in.
We call this our empathy and equity box. People just kind of donate, take what you need, leave what you can.
The pantry has a variety of items available, ranging from canned goods to even baby formula.
Gabby and the rest of the team want to make sure people have what they need.
Just bring your not expired goods and bring them in, and then we have a donation box inside the library. You can drop them off, and then staff will sort through to make sure that nothing is expired.
The library is a place to borrow a book, and at least here, watch a bird or build with bricks.
Like, there's just so much to do.
Now it fills another need, and it's called the Empathy and Equity Pantry.
But it's really a community effort. A bunch of people have been involved.
In East Lansing, Kenzie Terpstra, Focal Point News.
The Empathy and Equity Box is available 24/7, located just outside the library doors. The events offered by the library are always free and open to the public. Additionally, MSU students can use their student ID as a library card.
So much has been happening in East Lansing. Coming up, some unlikely guests are being served with margaritas.
I guess it really has been margarita weather, Jordan. Just how long will these incredible warm days last? Focal Point's Jaden Hawkins has the weather forecast.
And we'll show off the spunk of the steps of some East Lansing residents.
We'll be right back with all this and more coming up on Focal Point.
Makes the Big Ten so big? For starters, it's coast to coast. 18 of the country's most iconic universities. It's 110,000 people going berserk in a whiteout bid. It's defend the rock, jump around, and the biggest bass drum on earth big. It's a stadium so big.
They had to name it the Big House. Go Blue!
It's dotting the I big.
Let's go Bugs.
It's all-time leading scorer big. It's Husker Tunnel Walk big. And Paul Bunyan's Axe big. It's Rutgers Rock, Fear the Turtle, Oski Wow Wow, and Sparty doing big Sparty things. It's red, scarlet, maroon, cardinal, purple, green, black, yellow, gold, orange, and any other color under the sun big. And now that USC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington have joined the party, it's feeling real big. Right, Matt?
I'm ready. Fight on. For the baby.
Let's get it. Go Dogs.
Nah, it's all about the O.
And where can you catch more sports, games, matches, hits, goals, saves, aces, buzzer beaters, sprints, spikes, putts, pins, faults, dives, and touchdowns every Big Ten season? The Big Ten Network. This is big.
Welcome back to Focal Point News. Here in East Lansing, the businesses downtown have been changing a lot in the past few years. There are many new signs up on Grand River, but one belongs to a young entrepreneur who is chasing his dreams one decade at a time, blending vintage style and modern flair right here in East Lansing.
From Michigan State to the world of fashion, Kenny Eaton is making his mark with his brand Retro Royalty. Kenny is living his dream by buying and selling retro wear in his shop inside House of Souls. You might think your wardrobe has style, is cool, but I have a secret for you. Remixing it is so much better. Follow me.
My buddy Avery Geller was the one who got me started. He gave me a $100 investment in clothes, and I've turned it into this.
Kenny's journey has seen him collaborating with MSU athletes. He has done shoots with them and even given them free clothes to show his appreciation for them supporting his brand.
So Retro Royalty is the best vintage brand in East Lansing. We have football players all around the country wearing our gear. I have MSU football wearing all the gear. If you guys go to Blue House or Field House, you probably see them wearing my gear somewhere.
On September 6th, Kenny hosted his first ever Retro Roundup event at the Graduate Hotel. Early bird access started at 11 a.m. and general admission from noon to 6 p.m. The venue was alive with energy and excitement. Kenny was truly grateful for the overwhelming support he received.
I put this event on today. We have 16 people showed up to the event today. The perimeter of the space is for everybody to go around. Thanks everybody for showing up and supporting today.
Over 100 attendees came together to share their love for vintage clothing, shoes, and accessories. The success of Kenny's first event is a testament to his hard work and the growing popularity of Retro Royalty. Kenny is just getting started. In East Lansing, I'm Charlotte Turbrack, Focal Point News.
We had a good interview in.
You can check out Retro Royalty inside House of Souls or on Instagram at retroroyalty.co. There's so many places I need to check out in East Lansing.
Now this week, we also talked to the business that hosts Retro Royalty. With summer winding down and school back in session, House of Souls held a festival to welcome students back to campus. Check it out.
Shoes, 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 and more shoes. If you're looking for the freshest pair, they can be found in the soul of Lansing. It's called the House of Souls.
It's a great place. I would recommend it to a lot of people.
Lonnie Smith grew up in Lansing, and even when he was 16, he knew.
I didn't really want to work for anybody else.
He wanted to build his own business.
We buy, sell, trade.
So in 2020, just like a perfect pair, Lonnie and his twin brother, Leonard, created the House of Souls. They started with online sales, then a brick and mortar in Okemos, now a downtown Lansing hotspot.
House of Souls opened up last May, but with students gone all summer, the twins were looking for a way to get the school year started on the right foot. Or feet.
We got the House of Souls and the Summer Festival today.
The brothers pushed their business out onto the sidewalks and invited other entrepreneurs to celebrate with them.
We actually developed a smart pepper spray device.
Matt Rogan is the co-founder of Triple Fours. His young business is taking off inside the House of Souls.
It definitely is tough, but it teaches you a lot, and it'll grow your character.
It's all inspiring the next generation.
I'm a student athlete too, so if something happened with sports, I wouldn't mind doing something like this.
This end of summer festival was just the start for the brothers. They are hoping to connect more with the community and eventually turn their dreams into a franchise. In East Lansing, Jaden Hawkins.
If you want to visit House of Souls, it's open Monday through Saturday from noon to 6 p.m. Is it officially fall yet, or are we still in summer?
The question on everyone's minds will hopefully be answered. Focal Point's Jaden Hawkins is at the weather wall. Jaden, what can we expect this week?
It's September, and I know some people are eager for the leaves of fall, and others are ready to put up their Halloween decorations. But summer is not over yet, especially with this week's temperatures on the rise. Let's take a look at our national map. The Southwest is warming up with 90 degrees in Sacramento, 76 in Los Angeles, a little chillier up in Seattle at 65, but move back down to Arizona and it's a scorching 92 in Phoenix. Then on the East Coast, they are seeing some consistent temperatures in the lower to upper 80s. Charleston sits at a hot 87 degrees and Buffalo at 81. Looking at our regional map, it's looking like the Midwest is experiencing a pretty warm September compared to last year, with temperatures in the mid-80s all over the map, the highest being in Kansas City at 93, and coming in the lowest is here in Grand Rapids at 80 degrees. Looking at the 7-day outlook, East Lansing is cooling down after a week of high temperatures. We will be moving into the 60s and lower 70s. To finish out this week, Friday and Saturday, we should expect high 80s. And then going into next week, don't forget to bring out those umbrellas because we are expecting some rain. On Sunday, it will be 78 and rainy. Monday, 71 and cloudy, 68, rainy. And on Tuesday and then Wednesday, 69, and Thursday, 71 and rainy. Now that's all for weather, and Nora and Jordan, I don't know about you guys, but I am not ready for this fall weather.
Jaden, I gotta be super honest with you. I am so ready to put on a sweatshirt and not be sweating as I walk to class. It's been an exciting week for Spartan sports fans here in East Lansing. One team is ranked first in a poll for the first time in its history. For more, we'll head over to Charlotte, who's live in our Spartan newsroom for our sports update.
Welcome into the newsroom. I'm Charlotte Turbrack. The Michigan State Spartans returned home at the top of the Big Ten standings after last week's win at Maryland. The Spartans welcome Prairie View A&M for their second home game of the season, and they'd come out swinging. Aiden Child scored on their first offensive drive with his legs, and the next drive he showed off his arm. Here's Childs hitting the redshirt freshman Isaiah Johnson for a 17-yard touchdown, the first of his career, and they go up 14-0. Now, in the second quarter, Nathan Carter finds a hole and takes full advantage. He's been waiting for his first one of the season, and what a way it comes. He went 60 yards to the house to extend the lead. In the closing seconds of the first half, Charles Brantley, who had a pick six called back earlier, would pick it off in the Panthers' end zone and made sure he took this one back 100 yards to the house. The Spartans would coast to an impressive 40-0 victory. With the win, the Spartans improved to 3-0 on the season for the first time since 2021. Michigan State's next test will be in Chestnut Hill to take on Boston College Eagles, with the kickoff set up for 8 p.m. Then, last night, we had a matchup of last year's co-Big Ten champions. The women's soccer team hosted Nebraska under the lights in DeMartin. The game started with Michigan State dominating possession early, but the Spartans just couldn't capitalize on deep chances. It took until the 21st minute when Meg Hughes snuck through the Cornhusker backline and fired a shot for her 5th goal of the season. 20 minutes later, the Cornhuskers win possession and Sadie Waite shoots the ball off the crossbar and down the goal line. But did it cross the line? There's a review and the refs say yes. Nebraska equalizes 1-1. A goal from Emily Matthews would put the Spartans up 2-1 at half, and they took momentum from there. Here, in the 70th minute, Jordan Wickus breaks through and scores her first of the season. Ella Jan scores the final goal of the game, her second in 2 games, and Michigan State goes on to win 4-1. The Spartans are 7-0-2 and will go to Penn State this weekend for a matchup between the 5th and 9th ranked teams in the nation. Now, let's send it back to Jordan and Nora on the desk.
On three, Jordan.
Looks like the Spartans have been on a win streak. Thanks, Charlotte. And many of our local shelters face constant capacity issues, forcing them to turn away animals that desperately need new homes. One popular East Lansing restaurant decided to do their part to promote pet adoption, hoping to empty the shelter. Focal Point's Karina Prieto has the story.
Scooping, pouring, shaking, stirring, and serving up margarita after margarita on a 60-degree day. Barrio is known for their delicious drinks and build-your-own tacos, but today the patio looks more like a petting zoo.
Kind of wanted to make Barrio more of a part of the community than it has been in the last year, 2 years, to be more than just a couple tacos after the bars.
It may not be the perfect summer weather for margaritas, but organizers say that today is about more than just the drinks.
And every margarita you buy, $1 of it goes back to Happy Feet today.
Happy Feet Pet Rescue is an Ingham County-based nonprofit, hoping those eyes melt hearts that turn into adoption.
You know, anytime you mix tacos and margaritas and cats, we're in.
And even though Andrea Polverento can't add family members right now, she's happy to support the cause today.
It's really important that we give these animals good homes and get them off the street and get them into happy environments. So we were glad to come out today.
Patience Cole owns Happy Feet, and she says promotion and events like this one make it possible for them to help as many animals as they can.
This is how we pay our bills. This is how we pay our vets. And then when you adopt an animal from us, we can then take in the next one that needs help.
Cole says if you aren't ready for the commitment of adopting, Happy Feet is always looking for volunteers and foster parents, because you never know, you might find your perfect match.
Brought him home, immediately fell in love, and will definitely be a foster fail with this guy. So
just like these two. In East Lansing, Karina Prieto, Focal Point News.
Go ahead, Jordan.
If you want to support or keep up with Happy Feet Pet Rescue, head over to their Facebook page for details on upcoming events, volunteering, and adoption opportunities. So many cute animals. I love that we're leaving it on a good note, because with that, we are out of time today. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Jordan Wilcox.
And I'm Nora Fleming. Have a great weekend, everyone.